Watch this episode to find out why agents and myself, we put our face on many different buildings, signboards, anything we can. Stay tuned. Welcome to Morning Minutes, episode 303 with myself, Michael Bergio, Mark Novak, agents putting their face everywhere. What's the deal? Why do we do it? Should we do it? Good morning, Mark. And Mal, good morning.
I'd love to know if it shits people or if people like it, but there must be something in it because the world of real estate agents does it, but it's super vain. Like there's a lot of vanity there to have that confidence to put your head up on every signboard and on signboards. But does it work in 2020? What do you guys think?
Yeah, exactly. Obviously, we're going to give the beautifully biased opinion of an agent, but there is method to our madness. It isn't always ego. I know I was super self-conscious of doing it back in the early days, probably more because I weighed more mostly, but I see
you're 50 kilos more than you are today.
Exactly. I wasn't always this handsome.
Not a joke. But Michael, you're and I hope you don't mind me saying this, but if anyone who actually knows, if anyone, I think you will. If anyone actually personally knows Michael, I wouldn't say you're not a shy guy. Like you're not the reason you're putting your face on, like, and for anyone who's out of the area of the Sydney area, Michael's traditionally known in his catchment as having his head on all the signboards, and it's funny because I would suggest that it's not in your DNA to have your face on a live video or your face on a signboard, but you've actually pushed yourself to do it. Because I know when we go out, you know, if we're not on the drink, you're a relatively quiet sort of guy. You're not out there going hi, you know, in front of everyone. So you've really pushed yourself to do this. Has it worked?
I definitely believe so, and you're 100% right. I forget the wording. Isn't it like an introvert and extrovert? I'm definitely more that introvert with new people. Obviously, with close friends and people I know really well, it's sort of different. So for me to start doing that type of marketing and putting myself out there was stepping out of the comfort zone. And I believe many people feel the same way with social media. And just like any marketing, it's very hard to know. It's very hard to work out the return on investment into dollars. But with the amount of times I've heard the comments or people have brought it up, you know it gets known. But my whole sort of ethos or vision for it or reasoning was just like a Woolworths, Nike, Kohl's, whatever the brands are, they've got their logo, they've got that strong visual that is recognizable. And that's what I wanted to create for my business, and business should create in sort of any industry. So the best way to do it for an agent is their profile photo. It would be a little bit weird if you had like a logo for an agent and you go, oh, that square box is Michael. So I definitely saw the value of having that recognizable symbol for myself within the company brand. So you've got the company, but also me. And I did that through the photo, but also with the blue suit. That was intentional because it stands out, it's recognizable. The amount of people when I meet them or when we're out socially and people would be like, when they introduce me, because I normally say Michael and most people call me Bergio, but then people to someone random like, that's the guy on with all the signboards, the agent, the blue suit, and they're like, oh, I know you. I've seen you everywhere. So it works. And if friends or people I meet recognize me from that, than a lot of potential clients. That repetition, because I always saw value of, say, Pittwater Road. Like there's times I've had 20, 30 signs. You drive from Manly to Narrabeen, you see me every set of shops basically, and it's just that repetition. So there's the value there.
Isn't it like why is real estate accepting of it, or why doesn't any other industry do it? Because I don't see my face, and I'm sort of playing devil's advocate here, everyone, but I don't see the other industries' faces all over their marketing. Why is real estate find it to be acceptable, to do that?
I think a couple of reasons. Other industries should do that, and they're a little bit behind. There's a lot of aspects real estate's ahead of the game, and there's a lot of aspects it's behind other industries. So I believe they should, for one reason. Another reason is real estate's a very personal business, building relationships, building rapport. We find the best transactions are when we've got a really good relationship and we're recognized with both clients. So the more that people see you, the more that you're visually there, the more rapport you can build. Like the amount of rapport we build through social media with people seeing us, knowing us, the repetition is huge. And it's the same through a signage.
Repetition, write that word down, repetition. That's a new word for today, everyone. It's a new Burgeo word, repetition. Yeah, 636.
Yeah, and that's where it has the effect. So from a letterbox drop, from a signboard, from a billboard, through social media, it's just, you just keep going.
Okay, so look, something that I do have to share personally with everyone is that we starting the business at a very young age with no budget or low budget or no budget, whatever you want to call it. Something that I've also really felt passionate about is maximum impact, minimum cost advertising. And I've always spoken to people in the business about this and always said, look, we just simply don't have the budget to be putting in the paper every week, or we just simply don't have the budget to have it here, or we just simply don't have the budget to have it there. But if we are going to allocate a budget, and here's the kicker, guys, if we are going to allocate a budget, allocate it to something that is non-one-off, that will work for you for free, and that once you pay for it up front, it'll continue to work for you. And I think, Michael, that a secret into the success of putting your nugget on street fronts in the area is it's probably the cheapest form of advertising anybody can buy. I know electricians and plumbers are definitely very good at whacking it on their vans, but if you look at bang for buck that you're achieving with marketing, with things that if it's pay per appearance, it's going to be very, very expensive for you. If it's pay once, and it could potentially be up there for weeks, months, or years, that is a tremendous bang for your buck. And I encourage anyone in marketing to always keep that at the front of their mind.
100%. And I remember when I first made the push for the signboards, because at the time the Manly Daily was still really big and very popular for real estate agents. And I looked at the cost of doing a full page ad in the Manly Daily, because you really need a full page ad to have at least some impact. A quarter, half, didn't really do it. A full page was about $3,500 at the time. And basically it's really only popular on Saturday. It comes out once a week. And by Monday, Tuesday, I reckon if you were to look at how often it was seen, Saturday it skyrocketed, and then by Tuesday it's plummeted. So compared to a signboard, which may have a bigger upfront cost of $2,000, $3,000, even $5,000, but it's there every day. And if it's on a main road, even if it's on a less busier road, Pittwater Road, for example, has 60,000, 70,000 cars a day going past. So you're doing that repeatedly over even a month. If it stayed up a week, you got more bang for your buck compared to a traditional print, or what was the wording you used, pay per view type of marketing. So that once I realized that, I was like all in.
So I think we can conclusively say, but I still don't get why real estate. I know what you're saying. Why we put our nuggets on signboards and why we put our nuggets on advertising. Because if you look at, again, going back to what I was saying, every other industry, you can't tell me every other industry that aren't personable as well. But I think you don't see car salesmen doing it. You don't see dentists doing it, or plastic surgeons doing it, or GPs doing it. It's very electricians doing it. It's very unique to our industry. There must be a reason for it.
But that's where I said I believe they're behind. I think they should be doing it. A plumber would get a lot more business if they were known as the plumber. Instead of going, I'm going to call a plumber, and you Google it, you go, I'm going to call Jim, who's the plumber. I see his face. I've seen the van. They do it on a smaller scale. They generally do. You see it often on their utes, but they don't keep going the scale as an agent does, where an agent will do potentially their car, then Facebook, and then print advertisement. Everyone sort of does it on a very small scale, but they don't do it on a mass scale. Now, this is why I think it's key for an agent to have that sort of profile on their marketing. Now, for example, you're selling a property on Pittwater Road. It could be a retail shop. Cars are going past at 60 kilometres an hour, 70 kilometres per hour. Yes, it's great to have text and maybe even a photo of the property there, but a lot of the time you're going too fast to read what the sign says. But if you have an identifying mark, like a business logo or the blue suit of the agent, and you recognise it, then you've got the ability to go, oh, it's Michael. I've seen it. I know who it is. I've recognised it. I'll call him and say, hey, I saw something on the corner of Pittwater Road. What is it? I get that so often. So that's the key for myself, but more importantly, the client. The client wants the inquiry to come through. The client wants the signboard on the property. But if it's you love that it's highly visible, but sometimes it's the traffic or the people who it's going to be visible to are just moving too fast. So it works in combination with it.
Okay. Now, I guess the true measure, and to fly out with a bang on this, the true measure is do it, trial it, and see if it's good for your business. What's Amal saying?
But with agents, they can have their picks in multiple locations because they are leasing and selling that property. For a plumber or a doctor, they can't really have their pick in multiple locations unless they're using billboard. 100%. And that's where they can do some stuff and can't, they should really pick it up on a social media preference. Like you don't see many chiropractors or doctors doing much marketing on social media, but I came across this chiropractor who basically on YouTube and Facebook records himself doing these crazy adjustments, and he's getting millions of views. So we all know that social media works, and I think a lot of people go, oh, it's only good for agents or it's only good for sexy properties. That's where, with my comments before, I think more industries need to piggyback it off more, because they can't do what we do as agents with having multiple properties. But then there's many things agents can't do as well as other industries as well.
All right, now to finish off on what I was saying before Amal's awesome comment came in, Michael, you've thought about it, putting your nugget on signboards. You've done it, putting a nugget on signboards. You didn't know that it was going to work because it's a tremendous amount of effort consciously to get it done, effort consciously to go allow it to happen. Like you get, when you see your head up there, it's like, oh fuck. It's a tremendous amount of cost to get it done. But the bottom line for people that are watching, you've done it. Are you a fan? Thumbs up or thumbs down? Because you would have done over 300, 400, 500 boards with your nugget out there. You would have invested a bucket load of money. Was it good for you, in summary?
100%. You want to be noticed, you want to be recognized, and it works. The amount of times clients say, I see you there. You can't, there's no big difference not putting your face on and putting your face on, and there's huge benefit, like in cost-wise or anything like that. You need to have your face or a logo that can represent you, but even your face is better. So you need one or the other. You don't just put for sale. So for an individual agent under a big brand, you need to have your identifying mark. And we're not going to create a logo under the brand. So our face is our logo. So definitely yes. What's your thoughts?
I'd even go as far to say, for people who don't know you that are watching this, I would go as far to say, this is a guy that's come into the industry, and in a 5-year period, I appreciate it, you've been in the industry for longer, but the acceleration, the five of the years of acceleration that you've achieved, I would suggest that if you had to rank the most important thing that you've done in marketing, I would suggest that one or two would be a nugget on the board.
100%, 100 without a doubt. It's definitely probably number one.
So for anyone who's doubting doing that or using this method in their marketing, this is trialed and proven from someone new into the real estate industry that's number one in the Northern Beaches in the commercial field in volume and dollar value. And certainly if you were to ask anyone about a brand, who should I use to rent or sell my property? It's pretty hard to name any other name, honestly. And that's off the back of Hit Nuggets on Signboards. Thanks, buddy.
All good. That's a wrap. Thank you, everyone.
Love you, everyone. Have a great day. Hope this helped.
Cheers. Bye.